Greetings and welcome once again to another part of the Witch's Path podcast. I am your co-host Helen.
And I'm Cathy.
And today I just go back to last time's podcast. Sorry guys. Today we are here to talk about
Yule.
Yes.
Yes, Yule is
That
actually
wonderful-
a couple of days away.
Yes.
We are late recording this because of technical difficulties.
Yes. Unfortunately, guys, I've been a little late with things and I have a valid excuse.
It's called laptop crash and burn.
Well, luckily, laptop held out long enough that I was able to extract all of my data and therefore didn't lose anything.
Which is much better than the last time I had a computer crash.
Totally. So bear with us. We are recording and using Cathy's computer and software for now.
Which is totally different than what Helen usually uses.
Right. So, I just need to get over the holidays and do some taxes and, get a new laptop. So
In the meantime, we're gonna do our best.
Right, to keep these coming. So, thank you for, staying with us, and we appreciate you. And
it'll all be worth it next time.
oh gosh, next time is going to be so cool.
We'll talk about that at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So did we mention this was 116?
This is episode
Okay,
116.
this is 116.
Yule.
So
Now is that time in the broadcast for...
It's special time.
It's special time. I think it's time for the correspondence of the week.
I think it is too.
Oh my God.
Wow. Correspondence and our special fun correspondence sound, which is coincidentally my text sound on my phone. So the correspondences for Yule.
Yeah, we're covering the correspondences for Yule's since this is the Yule episode.
Right. So some stones for Yule are clear quartz, jet, garnet, kunzite, citrine, green tourmaline, pearls.
Pretty. Now, colors for Yule are pretty much what you would expect. Red, green, white, silver, and gold.
These symbols for Yule are mistletoe, wreaths, holly, stag. Is that a mouse?
Mouse.
I would think moose. Mouse. It's mouse, deer, horse, and bear.
Yes. And now food that is good to eat at your feasts are things like nuts and apples, anything like caraway cakes soaked in cider. Sounds pretty good.
Sure.
A mulled cider would be even better.
Which is also food for Yule.
Right. Pork seems to be at the top of a lot of menus for Yule. Ginger tea, which is going to help your belly settle after eating all this crazy stuff. Roasted turkey. Of course, everyone likes fruitcake and cookies and eggnog. So, yeah, those are some good foods.
And the food that I'm going to make on Sunday morning is the Yule Log.
Right.
We'll see if it turns out better this year.
Right.
The goddess for Yule, there are a lot of them. Freya, Skadhu, Bridget, Isis, Demeter, Gaia, Diana, and the Great Mother.
I know that's very small print. I'm very sorry.
And I'm getting old.
And then gods that are associated with Yule are, of course, Odin Father, Apollo, Ra, Lu, the Oak King, the Horned One, the Green Man, and the Divine Child.
Of course.
Right.
And incense...
Most importantly, the Divine Child.
The Divine Child. The incense for Yule is bayberry, pine, spruce, cedar, and cinnamon. There twice.
Oh, I do. Oh,
well, you totally have pine there twice.
So,
so, yeah.
And of course, like all of the Sabbats that we talk about, I do have an incense recipe that I will include in the description box, along with a charge incantation that will help you seal the deal basically when you make the incense.
Right.
So I'll list that in the description box.
You should make it for Yule.
There's no time.
So that was
it for the correspondence of the week. Okay, it's growing on me.
Oh yeah. No, I totally love this sound. Like I said, it's my text tone on my iPhone.
I like it.
So,
it works.
So this year, our coven adopted a family, and we had a lot of fun shopping for the family.
Yes, there were children, and we got to buy childlike things.
Yes, exactly. And then we had fun wrapping it. Not so much, but we wrapped it and passed it off.
We made it through the other side of wrapping it.
We did. We absolutely did.
I hate wrapping.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've been wrapping all day.
Ugh. You know, I have a roommate for a lot of reasons, but most specifically so that she can wrap because she's really good at it and enjoys it.
Let me tell you what my husband does for wrapping.
Nothing?
He sometimes writes the tags.
Well, at least there's that.
There's that. But, you know, he's good for other things.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what? Quite frankly, that's why the goddess invented gift bags.
I had to wrap some gift bags this year, which I don't usually, but this year I needed to.
Well,
so we adopted the family.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, we adopted the family.
And something we also do at Yule is we gather food for the local food banks.
Yes. Yes, that's been a part of our Yule ritual to bring, you know, non-perishable food items to take to a food bank, and usually corn flour Wolf.
That's her name.
I get so confused.
But that's her name.
I know. Sorry.
So
she drops it off.
She drops it off, right. Although I don't, this year we might be taking it to Pin, depending in which case I'll drop it off because.
Well, I think that we could definitely.
It really doesn't matter where it goes.
Tell the people what Pin is.
Pin is Pagans in Need, and it is a food bank out of Lansing, Michigan, run by a lovely gentleman named Bill.
We love you, Bill.
That is the organization that we adopted a family through as well. Mm-hmm. So he does a lot of good, and you don't have to be pagan to go see him. I have filled in on a Saturday to sit at the food bank to hand out food. It's a very worthy cause. And it's local, so it helps. Right. It helps those in need in our community. Right. So that I think is like the most important is that we're serving our local community. Well, so Lansing's not quite so local for most of us, but it's close enough. Right, but it's close enough that someone could go over there. Right. Right, because it does handle Shiawassee County. So yeah, good. A lot of the surrounding from is it Ingham County that Lansing's in? I think it is. Yeah, I think Ingham or Clinton. I don't know. If you know, I don't know. Comment below. Yeah. Okay. So something that we also do for those in need at this time of year is we generally have a craft that involves making food for the animals. Right, right. Yeah, because as we've talked about before, that in our rituals, with the exception of Samhain, we generally have a craft. Right. That is part of our ritual because we are crafty witches and we like to craft. So usually we do, Cathy has, pine trees in her yard. Yeah, so spruce is the ones we pull off of. They're evergreens. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a difference, and I'll tell you why. Because the spruce trees I'm allergic to. And generally those are the pine cones that we find. So I end up between that and the peanut butter we put on the pine cones, I end up not doing the craft. It's a craft she does not participate in other than to supply the cones because they came out of her yard. That's the gist of what we're getting at. Well, sometimes I make my grandchildren go gather the cones. Right. Right. Either the grandchildren or the junior member of the coven. Right. We've had her do that before. We need a name for her. We'll call her Star Child. Star Child. I like it. Yeah.
I like it.
So we have done the pine cones and the peanut butter rolled in birdseed before. The last couple of years, we have tried various crafts with birdseed and gelatin and trying to form them into moles to hang from the trees.
And in case, I don't know if we mentioned this, but did we say that these are things that go outside to help feed the wild animals?
Right. We tend to.
I don't know if we actually vocalize that or not.
We hang them on the trees that, as Helen said, we have, a crap ton, probably 30 evergreens in the yard. And so everybody takes home one to their own yard, and then we put one on the circle trees for the animals here, because we have, I don't know, half a dozen rabbits and a couple of squirrels and a chipmunk. And I think the coon might be back.
Okay.
Every once in a while we get a skunk around here. But regardless, the animals around here. Right. This year we might be putting it on the ground. I'm not really sure. We made them this year prior to ritual, hoping that it would set up. But yeah, we'll see how that works.
Yeah, we'll see how they turn out.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the other things that we do in ritual.
For Yule.
For Yule.
For Yule.
Right.
Right.
Yule is a great time to purge negativity.
Right, because it is a dark time of the year. So it's time to take those dark things that are in your life, to look at them, examine them, and if it's something that doesn't serve you, get rid of them.
Right.
I mean, some dark things can help you, but if it can't, it's time to get rid of them.
Right, and this time of the year is the perfect time to...
Right.
To
and we're not talking about family members.
Yes. Oh goodness. So that's a part of or an aspect of our ritual is to purge negativity. Another thing that we do is, well, you know what we didn't do? I feel very jumbled today. I'm so sorry, people. We didn't talk about what Yule is.
Oh, well, Yule.
I think we know. And
we need to talk about that.
Right.
Yule is the winter solstice.
Right.
It is the longest night and the shortest day. And let me tell you what drives my husband crazy.
And it's also
the birth of the
Sun King.
Yes. Is when the goddess gives birth to the king so that he is born again. And if this sounds familiar, you may have been raised Christian.
Well, I mean,
actually, there are a lot of mythologies
there's
that involve a divine child born of a virgin or mother at this time of year.
Right.
And Jesus is just one of them. Right. Mithras is another.
And we're not here to judge or, cut down or anything like that.
We were Christians at one point too.
So basically, Yule is when the Sun King is reborn, and therefore it is when the light returns to the earth.
Because the days from here on get longer and the light gets stronger.
Right.
Right. So, and to represent that in our ritual, well, when we had little kids in our coven, we used to turn off all the lights in the house, and the kids would run around like crazy and turn on all the lights in the house. And that was fun. And then our little kids went away. So we had to come up with an alternative. So basically what we do is we try to burn the house down.
Wow, that's...
No. Seriously. We put out about 150 tea lights. And
other lights.
Yeah.
There's
other
all kinds of and white. They're usually white. Yep. They're all white.
And we spend about 10 minutes lighting every single one of them to represent the return of the sun and the light and the warmth.
Right. And it's hot in the room.
Yes.
Usually by the time we put them all out. But it's a very warm time.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Just beautiful.
Don't get me wrong. And I will probably post pictures to my blog next Monday.
Right.
To share.
Right.
But I feel like there's a teamwork, a camaraderie or something like that happens because everyone participates.
Right. Everyone
in
works
that.
together to make sure all of the candles get lit. And
I
then,
think-
you know, after ritual, make sure they all get put out.
And actually, it was this ritual, I think, where that was kind of a, oh, I don't know what the word is for it, but it was a major factor in why we wanted our ritual dresses to not have big old
To be
sleeves.
sleeveless, yes. Yes,
Because-
absolutely.
Because, yes, while we're talking 150 candles, we're also talking about only a few surfaces.
Right. Right.
So there's a lot of candles
yeah.
on, in one area. And so that's why it's hot. Okay. As you can well imagine. But, you have to go in with a game plan or you're going to get burned. So yeah, but I like the feeling of, oh, I'm getting this one, or, oh, you missed one right there. Or, oh, one went out, or, oh, it's really fun.
Which reminds me, I need to go downstairs and see how many we have.
Right.
Because
we might be low.
Yeah, although I don't fathom
Imagine
that. I can't fathom that, but
didn't Cornflower leave a package of some or something recently?
Seems like, but
because it seems like she's been to IKEA.
Yeah.
So
very possible, yeah.
Right. So that is a very that's an important time or an important part of that ritual.
And there's other ways that you can celebrate the return of the sun. Like I said, you could run through the house screaming and turning on all the lights.
Right.
You can have a Yule log in a fireplace and light it. Mm-hmm. Our fireplace is gas, so that doesn't work so much. Mm-hmm. But if you're in a warm area, you could have a fire outside.
Right.
It's a little chilly in Michigan to stand out and watch a fire.
Right.
Although it's been warm this year, but regardless.
Well, there's snow on the ground as we speak.
And ice on the road.
Yeah. Right. So.
Yeah.
So another thing that we do for our ritual is we like to sing Yule Carols. I don't know that I've ever vocalized this, but I love Christmas carols.
Yes.
They're growing up in the Episcopal Church. There was always like a Christmas Eve service. Mm-hmm. And so you always did the service. And then what they did is when service was over and, everyone had come down from the altar in the recessional and stuff like that, what they would do is they would lower the lights, and there was a lot of candlelight. And we would spend about a half hour. So the lights were lowered just enough so that you could still read the hymnals.
Right.
And we would sing for like a half hour, including all the verses for Silent Night. And so now that I am a witch and don't celebrate the Christian aspect or the Christian holiday, the Christmas holiday, that's one thing that I miss.
Right.
And I wish I've done some looking, and maybe I'm not looking in the right spots, but I wish that we had that catalog of carols.
I mean, like pagan carols or Christmas carols that are tailored?
I wish that we had pagan carols.
Yeah.
Because the songs that we sing are just modifications of traditional Christmas songs.
So if you know of any place where we could find Yule carols,
because like I said, I've done some looking, and they're not out there.
Yeah, so if you know of any, please comment or email us, because we would love to know some, and we'll give you credit for telling us. Absolutely give you credit.
Right. And that could be good for you.
It could be.
We're looking. Should we drop a hint?
I don't know.
We're looking for some kind of a milestone for a giveaway.
Yes. Yes. We don't have a whole lot of listeners right now.
Maybe,
so
maybe it's 100 subscribers. I'm not sure where we're at. We're at about 30 to 40 or something like that. So yeah, it could be in your best interest to receive some free stuff if you give us a hint. Okay? All right. So
was there anything else you want to discuss about Yule?
No, well, we talked about food a little bit, but let's talk about what we're eating this year.
Well,
what are we eating?
We're having the Yule Log.
You're making a Yule log.
I'm making a Yule log.
After a not so happy experience last year.
It wasn't last year. It was a couple years ago.
Oh.
I made one, and yeah, I wasn't so happy with it. But I did. Basically, I didn't like it because the frosting was also the filling, and I really wanted something that had a little bit of a different filling. So I went out and I did some surfing, and I really didn't want to make a cake from scratch either. So I found myself on the cake mix manufacturer's website, and I found a Duncan Hines recipe for a Yule log with a cream cheese filling. So that is what I will be making.
And Duncan Hines is not getting any kind of paid advertising here.
We wish, because they'd be paying us.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to try it, and maybe Helen will include a picture on her blog.
Oh, my blog posting Monday might be all pictures. One never knows. So you're making a Yule log.
I'm making a Yule log.
We're starting with the end of the meal again.
Absolutely. Isn't that where you're supposed to start?
I think we're having some kind of a salad. The jury is out as to whether it's a green salad or a broccoli salad. Yeah, I think we're having like a broccoli slaw salad, which is very delicious.
Yes.
And then we're also having rosemary potatoes.
Nice.
Because that's a club favorite.
Yes. Not Rosemary's Baby potatoes, just
rosemary potatoes.
Which is a nice recipe. You just, oil and rosemary and garlic and throw it in the oven for a while.
Yum!
Yep.
And then
we're having ham as the meat.
I wasn't sure.
Right. Somebody decided to go vegan, and it hasn't
vegetarian.
Hasn't really filtered into the coven yet. So we in the future we might have some vegan vegetarian recipes to share or something.
Yep. We've got a little bit of time. So as a side note, I've made it through my first week of vegetarian.
Yay.
So I'm trying things and liking things. So I'll probably do some blog posts on that as my experiences grow with going vegetarian and what that means and how that happens. So if you got some good vegetarian recipes, you can post them down below too. I'm totally down with that. So
maybe we should talk about Yule gifts.
I'm not telling you what you got.
I'm not asking what you...
Oh, you're not fishing.
I'm saying crafty things that you can make to give to your friends. Might be jewelry. You can bead jewelry up, or you could make altar cloths.
I've done a couple of blog posts on this.
Yes, but not vlog posts.
Well, I can put a link to
my
blog post.
But I don't write your blog, so... I didn't say I didn't read it. I said I don't write it.
Oh, okay.
So if you're handy with a wood burner, you could do some sort of wood burning, which I had intended to do for Christmas, and it just didn't happen this year. Life kind of got in the way. What else could you do? You have already done blog posts.
Well, of course, there's soap making. I'm trying to think about the 10 things I posted. You can do some like crochet or knitting projects.
Right. We made lotion a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Lotion is good.
Prayer shawls.
Yep.
What else was on the list? You could do sachets. You could do like dream pillows.
Oh yeah.
You could do sachets that you could put in a dresser drawer,
right,
to keep your clothing smelling yummy.
You could make incense or sugar scrubs.
Right. I think that was all things that were on my
There's
post.
a lot of crafty things you can do to make for your friends and family.
I talked about altar cloths and how they're really easy to make.
Right.
So, and a lot of time, altar cloths are even so easy that if you don't sew, you could do an altar cloth, because there's fusible webbing that you use an iron for, and you could use that to turn the edge fold the material and use that fusible webbing so that it doesn't fray.
Right.
And so that gives you a clean edge. So don't think you have to know how to sew to do these kinds of things.
You just have to know how to use a pair of scissors.
And an iron.
Right.
So the knitting and crocheting I can't get around. You have to know how to do those in order to do that.
YouTube is your friend. YouTube has a lot of instructional videos.
Oh my gosh. That's totally how I learned how to crochet, was on YouTube.
And you learned it wrong because you hold the needle wrong.
No, I don't. I hold the needle, or I have the hook.
Whatever.
I hold just well, just fine. Thank you very much.
Regardless,
I am not dainty.
The lotions and sugar scrubs. There's probably things on YouTube for that as well.
Oh my gosh, there's a ton.
You know,
like
just
the lotion
a
bars.
web search. You know, you can come up with.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of people nowadays that are doing lots of how-to and DIY videos and stuff like that. When switching to cruelty-free products and things like that, I was looking for deodorant recipes, and they're all out there.
Mm-hmm.
You think of anything, and you can reference it either on Pinterest or YouTube. So,
lots of ideas. Although it's a bit late to start those projects now. It's good for next year.
Well, it depends on when you're having your gift exchange celebration.
Right. True.
So, it just so happens that the holiday is on the weekend for us.
Right.
So that's nice.
So we're actually celebrating on Yule.
So I think that covers Yule subjects.
Right.
For now. We mentioned before that we have a big year-end podcast.
Extravaganza
planned for next time. We are working on things and we are planning.
We have a list.
Yes, we have a list. And it is in the works. And so I hope you tune in 2 weeks for that. So I think we're done with the I keep pointing at you for the correspondence.
No, correspondence is done.
I am so tired. Oh my gosh.
It's been a long day.
Been a long week.
Yes.
It's been a sad week. So I want to give a special shout out to all of those that that shared kind thoughts and words with the Rumi and I for the loss that we're going through right now. We appreciate that. We appreciate your well wishes and your.
Before you freak anybody out, tell them what it is you lost.
We the Rumi and I. We had a pair of kitties that were sisters, and last weekend we lost one of them. So it's been a pretty yucky time.
Right.
So, and then,
and
Mr. Ike Evans, my lizard, died too. So it's just not a good time.
You need to cleanse your house.
Well, it's just all coming to a head right now.
Yeah.
So I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season.
Yes. On
whatever.
A sad note.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it all down. So
hopefully your holiday is much happier.
Right.
Positive thoughts.
Right.
Bring that energy of the sun, the newborn sun, back into your life.
Definitely.
Open yourself to that dawning light.
Yes. So that's going to wrap it up for us for now.
Okay.
So thank you for tuning in and walking the path for a little while with us. Until next time, I'm Helen.
And I'm Cathy.
And blessed be.
Blessed be.